Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Lbtharealist with Surrealistic Studios. Once again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Viva Puerto Rico. Stand up, all my people. Shout out to the island. Shout out to Winkle the Bernie Bro. Yo, my bad, fam. I left him out. I recently found his channel, and he knows that already. But he posts pretty often, and he was a big Bernie supporter, and I found him on Twitter first, so I followed him on Twitter, and then I found that he had a show too, so I followed his so subscribe to Winkle the Bernie Bro. He reports on some interesting stories himself. Also, Caitlin Johnston, I forgot to mention Caitlin Johnston. She actually has a YouTube channel as well now. She's actually a writer, for those of you that don't know. She writes on Medium all the time and a few other places as well. She's constantly on Twitter posting, and now she has a channel as well that she's on sometimes. So I forgot to mention those. In the real news, I love the real news. I love to watch RT sometimes and Al Jazeera sometimes, you know, take them with a grain of salt, if you will. But I like to expand my horizon and watch other platforms, you know. But I really wanted to touch on this whole issue with, first of all, Eminem, and then second of all, his album Revival, and those two concepts together. So if you don't like Eminem, don't watch the video, okay? Just because full disclosure, I am an Eminem fan. I'm a huge Eminem fan. I believe he is one of the best, if not the best rapper in history. Now, I know you guys, a lot of you are going to hate me for that. Whatever. I go off of flow. I go off of lyricism. I go off of context. I go off of storytelling. I go off of delivery. I go off of punchlines. I encompass everything. Story, background, I encompass everything. And Eminem has the total package. If he was black, honestly, there would be no discussion about it. Everybody would be in what is the word? Congruence, or everybody would be in agreement that he would be the best rapper if he was black. But he's not. He's a white guy, so people don't want to give him a shine. And that's fine. That's fine. It's not fine. It's not. But it is what it is. They don't want to give that brother his shine because he's white. Whatever. We'll move on. So a lot of people, including Joke Buttons, I like to call him Joke Buttons, because he's just been very clownish lately, and I don't know the brother personally, and I'm not judging him on any other aspect other than this aspect and what we're talking about right now. But Joke Buttons and a few other people, a few other critics that, you know, supposedly call themselves true Eminem fans, they want to go out here on these videos and trash Eminem. They want to call him garbage, call his album garbage, and all this other shit, which is total nonsense to me. And I'm not trying to sound like, look, if you hate Eminem's album, then you're not a true fan, because, you know, I'm not trying to cast that judgment, although it seems as though I am. What I'm really trying to get people to understand is there's people saying that Eminem is a trash-ass rapper altogether, first of all. That's one argument that some people are making. That's fucking ridiculous in itself. I'm not even going to address that. The man speaks for himself, and his body of work speaks for himself, and your favorite fucking rapper probably speaks, you know, and probably acknowledges that they look up to Eminem. So I'm not even going to address that anymore. The number two thing or complaint that people have with Eminem's new album, Revival, is that there were too many pop songs on it, and they didn't like all the singing and the singers on it. Okay, I give you that. I'll give you that. I'll give you, if you don't like all the pop sounding songs, fair enough. If you don't like the singers that he picked to sing on his album, fair enough. My issue comes in when you say the whole album is trash. The whole album is trash? Really? The whole album is trash? And then, which brings me to my third point. There's people that didn't like the album because they said that Eminem wasn't going hard like he normally does. Now, I will admit, if you say Revival wasn't Eminem's best album, I will give you that. Fine, yes, I absolutely agree, actually. Revival was not Eminem's best album. No, of course not. But it was a damn good album, and you can't call it, you can, obviously, people are doing it, and everyone's entitled, you know, to their opinions. Everyone has them, just like assholes. Which makes perfect, is very apropos. But okay, fine. It wasn't his best album, but you can't say the whole album is trash. I'm not going to say the whole album is trash because I actually listened to the whole album numerous times. Okay? There's people like fucking Joke Buttons out there who are trashing and dogging Eminem out, just trashing him. And people try to give him all the excuses in the world. Well, he's a media personality. You know, you're supposed to dog your friends out like that. No, the fuck you're not. I talk about criticizing each other, criticizing your heroes, criticizing and questioning your friends. I don't talk about dogging them out. I never once said dog them out online. I never once fucking said diss them in front of everybody online, even though you're basing your judgments on the fact of you looking over the track list and looking at the album cover. Never even listened to the album, but you want to judge it. You're a joke. You're a clown. If you're doing that, you are a clown. You are a clown. And I can't take you seriously. That's why I call him Joke Buttons. I just laugh at him now because he's a clown. This man judged the whole album based on the track list and him seeing the album cover. His only complaints, which there were basically none, but his biggest fucking complaints about Eminem and the album was those two things. He didn't like the pop song. He says, change it, you need to change it right now. As if this nigga has any fucking authority over any fucking thing that Eminem does. Looked at the album cover. He didn't like the fact that Eminem was doing this with the American flag in the background. Oh, fucking boo. Oh. Clutching his fucking purse and pearls. Oh, change it, Eminem. Shut the fuck up. You're weak for that, Joke, nigga. Are you serious? You're weak for that, man. You're weak. And what's so irritating about it is that Joke Buttons calls himself an Eminem fan. And then he has the nerve, and this, like Jimmy Dore says, the best propaganda is when you mix bullshit in with facts. This dude has the nerve to say, oh, I'm a true Eminem fan, and he's my boy, and I have the right to say this about him, and he really does mean all that political shit that he says. He really does mean, I can say for a fact that he really does mean that, and in the same fucking sentence, the same breath, has the nerve to dog him out and say that, or make assumptions or insinuations as if that Eminem's people doesn't know what the fuck is going on, or Eminem, I should say, doesn't know what the fuck is going on with his message, with his album, with his artwork, with his music. Eminem is just lost on M. He's just unaware. He's unaware of what the fuck is going on around him. That's an insult. That's fucking insulting. If you don't see that that's insulting, then I don't know what else to say. Fair enough. I'm just an Eminem sycophant. Whatever. Fair enough. I'm a super fan. Whatever. Fair enough. I admit that I am. But this shit makes sense to me. If you want to say that his album wasn't the greatest, fine. I'll give you that. I'm not arguing about that at all. No arguments for me there. If you want to say that you didn't like all the pop sounds and the singers and the pop sounds, I give you that. To be quite honest, I didn't like all of it either. I tolerate it because on every track, Eminem is still spitting his ass off, and he's speaking real shit in his verses, and his shit is gold. Just because it has a singer on the hook, and quite frankly, I started liking it more as I listened to it, and I started singing, ashes blowing in the air, I was on fire, but I don't care, yeah. That was the one with Kalani, I think, and the one with Beyonce, I think that song was more for his true fans. And when I say his true fans, I mean his true fans. Not the fucking people that say they like Eminem and his lyrics, but then trash him and dog him fucking out on the internet. I'm not talking about those people. I think he made that song with Beyonce for his true dedicated fans, because he would listen to the lyrics, listen to what he's talking about this whole situation, about how people are dogging him out, how his legacy may or may not be tarnished because of all this bullshit. And it's a new game now. People are into mumble rap, and this is another thing that irritates me. People had the audacity to say, some of them my friends, man, I love you to death, but damn, you guys are trash for these comments. They had the nerve to say that Lil Pump had a better album than Eminem. And here's the thing, even if they were joking when they said it, it shows me how serious I can take them, which is not very serious at all. I can't take them seriously. And then these people, They all have different excuses as to why Eminem's trash or the album is trash now. Another excuse that I forgot to mention before I end this fucking video, because we're going on over 10 minutes here. I could argue about Eminem for hours here, all right? I'm pretty sure you can tell, all right? But another thing the joke buttons didn't like, and all these fucking weird-ass people didn't like, was the fact that Eminem was talking about black issues. The fact that he was talking about men and women and children, black men and women and children being killed by police officers and fucking fake-ass police officers patrolling the streets at night looking for bad characters and motherfucking kids with Skittles in their pockets with hoodies on. What the fuck is wrong with you people? How are you gonna dog a man out because he's speaking on real shit? And you got the nerve to say, we wish Eminem would go back to the old Eminem where he was just spazzing out all the time. You want Eminem to spaz out every fucking track? What is wrong with you people? You can't. He's an artist. He don't want to spaz out like Chloroseptic 2. Chloroseptic remix was hot as fuck. Hot as fuck. Yes, I love that Eminem. But no, I don't want to hear that every fucking song. You know why? Because I like Eminem's versatility. I like when he stops and he raps slow. I like when he talks about him and Haley and him and Kim and him and his mom. I like when he talks about personal issues like that. That's what gravitated me to Eminem in the first place, besides his lyricism, was his storytelling. It's the fact that he made us laugh and he made us cry. He made us feel emotion when we listened to his music. He took us on a fucking ride. He's a genius. He's the GOAT. Forever. The greatest of all time. Next to Pac. Him and Pac are like this to me. Pac probably just a little more because he's dead and because Pac was a gangster and he was a G and he was just the realest of the real. That's another video. I'm not going to get into Tupac right now. We're talking about M. So people didn't like the fact that he was getting political and he was speaking on black issues. So Eminem was supposed to just not use his huge ass platform with all of these different all of these different people that he can reach. He's not supposed to speak to them about what's going on. He's supposed to sit down and shut up because he's rich, or because you don't want to hear that political shit, because you don't want to fucking wake up and think, because you rather stay asleep. Y'all are ridiculous as fuck. You're childish. You're very fucking childish. You need to grow the fuck up and realize that Eminem is evolved. He's a grown ass fucking man. He's like 44, 45 years old. He's grown as fuck. He's not going to be the same M. If you want old M, go listen to the old Eminem albums. If you want to grow up and be on some evolve, some new shit, some shit that makes sense, some real shit, then listen to new Eminem. The same Burger King. Eminem is his own man, his own artist. He gonna do what he want to do and stop hating the man for it. He gonna make his money. Have you ever noticed that back in the day, radio didn't want to play his jams? He used to say it in his songs. Radio won't play my jam. MTV, all this shit. He changed the formula. Now he's getting movie roles and his music is being played in movies and they're using this shit in the radio. All these. There's a reason he's doing what he's doing, and he's still spitting his ass off, and you clown ass motherfuckers are hating. Woo! I'm sorry. I know this video is a little too long for what I'm talking about, probably, but whatever. I just had a lot to say, and I have a lot of emotion, if you can't tell already. I got a lot of emotion involved with this, because yes, that is my favorite rapper, and number two, you all are ridiculous. For all of the reasons I say, except for the fact, if you don't like the pop songs, fine. If you think it's not his best album, fine. I concede those 2 points to you. If you're saying Eminem's trash now, I don't take you seriously as anybody regarding music. Anybody into music, I don't take you seriously at all. Not at all. If you're saying that you don't like the fact that he's speaking on black issues, I'm for sure not taking you seriously on anything seriously related. You're not a serious person to me at that point. Now, if you don't like Eminem, then you're probably not watching this video. Or if you do like Eminem, or if you, whatever. I'm done talking about the issue. I love you guys. Remember to love, peace, and light. Stay informed, stay enlightened. In closing, I love what Eminem's doing. I love the album. I hope that he says fuck everybody and keeps doing what the fuck he's doing. I hope that he gets deeper into it, actually, and I hope that he expands his mind even further so that he realizes that Trump is not just the end-all, be-all boogeyman from hell. He's a symptom of the bigger issue at hand. And I think all of my progressive-minded folks out there would agree that that is the serious issue, that it's beyond just hating Trump. I get that part, all right? I get it. You know, Caitlin Johnston made an article calling Eminem Mick Resistance and everything. I didn't particularly agree. I mean, I get where she's coming from, but I don't think that we should go around just like throwing around Mick Resistance like that for like people like Eminem. He's been talking about issues from way back, you know. Just because he may not be as informed as us on issues doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve to be heard, and it doesn't mean that you should be criticized, or everybody should be criticized, but it doesn't mean that you can't criticize Trump for stupid shit that he does. And you shouldn't have to be Mick Resistance every time you decide to criticize Trump. That's ridiculous. No, Trump deserves to be criticized, and he deserves to be, it deserves to be talked about when it's necessary. Now, I admit, all of this shit, you know, when people just go overboard, just resisting Trump, I get it. But again, not for every single time we criticize him, okay? We don't deserve to be called Mick Resistance every time we decide to criticize somebody that deserves to be criticized, okay? That's all I wanted to say on the matter. I've been meaning to do this video for weeks. I actually did do this video, and then I fucked up on it, and I had to erase it. This was like a week ago, so. Find me on all social media, Twitter, Instagram. Listen to Eminem's album, Revival, before you go around judging it. Remember to have love in your heart, peace in your soul, enlightenment for everybody. And until next time, peace.